Yoga and Wellness. Today we are going to do a quick 30 to 40 minute sequence focusing on building some strength and stability in the core. If you have noticed that your low back is feeling crunchy or, maybe a little bit of pain, for me at least, I have a herniated disc in my L5 and some familial, hereditary dispositions towards back pain. So, in order to kind of stave some of that off, keep some of that at bay, I have to really, really, really focus on the core, really, really focus on building some strength. Six pack abs are pretty, but we need the functional ab muscles, which are like the transverse abdominal muscles, those ones that some people call them the girdle ab muscles. So these are the ones that are going to take up to 40% of the pressure off of your low back, which is why we really, really want to focus on strengthening them. So join me today when you are ready. And remember, if something gets too intense, don't do it. If it doesn't feel good, don't do it. If it feels great, then you can keep on doing it. This is your practice. Mine are just suggestions for you. So again, my name is Jennifer Dixon with Thrive Yoga and Wellness. I'm so thrilled to have you joining me today. And let's get started. So we're going to get started in child's pose. Sometimes child's pose can be a little bit if your back is giving you issues, if you do the traditional knees together pose, that can give you a little bit of decompression in the low back. But if you're super crunchy in the low back, sometimes this can be too intense with your head down on the mat, hands pressing into the mat. So you might want to take your knees out wide, feet together, knees out wide. This takes some of the stretch from the low back and puts it into the inner thighs, the hips some. So yogi's choice here and how you want to hang out here in this child's pose or balasana squat. We're making this active. This is a short sequence, so our hands are going to be pressing into the mat. You notice my elbows are up off of the mat. This is going to help you to engage your lats. That's these muscles here on the sides of your body. You'll also feel some heat possibly generating in the upper back, those rhomboids and traps. Maybe you come up to your fingertips and pretend to drag those fingertips down the mat. You're going to feel your triceps engage a little here. Press your hips into the mat, into the heels rather. If they don't touch, that's okay, maybe tomorrow. And then pretend to draw your belly button in, so much so that it comes off the thighs. It may not come off the thighs, but that's how much you're trying to really draw the belly button in. That's really getting those transverse abdominals nice and engaged. You might feel some almost immediate relief in the low back when you do this. And just breathe. One more. Now we're going to go bring both of our hands over towards the right. My hands are coming up off of the mat, still fingertips pressing into the mat, forehead going over towards the right, getting a nice stretch along the left side body. You'll feel this in the left side lats, left side obliques, maybe in the left side of your hips, trying to keep your shoulders square, trying to keep your hips pressing back, and remember that belly button to spine. One more. Nice. Let's bring those hands back and then over towards the left. So again, I'm keeping my hands nice and active so my elbows are up off of the mat. My forehead's pressing into the mat, and I'm trying to keep my shoulders square, level to the mat, and hips pressing into the heels. Draw the belly in, stretching out that right side body. All right, let's move those hands forward. And let's start to come into our very first cat-cow. So cat-cow, your hands stack underneath your shoulders, your knees stack underneath your hips. And what we want to think about is not letting the belly out. So draw the belly in. I'm going to tuck my shirt in just a little bit. So we don't want to let the belly just hang out loose. We want to lengthen through the tailbone. So here it is just sticking out. And pretend your pelvis is a soup bowl, and we're going to scoop some soup up and in. You'll find that that engages that belly a whole bunch. And now push between your shoulder blades. Push that space in between the shoulder blades and really kind of get that nice rounded spine here. So we're neither cat nor cow. We're just super hyper engaged. And now we're going to slowly drop the chest, looking up if your neck was okay with it, and then tilting that bowl of soup out. Here we are in a beautiful cow. And then rounding through the spine like a Halloween cat. Here we are in our cat pose. So if you're a visual person, I had a student remind me of this. When you move through these poses, try to think of like your spine as a string of pearls, and you're trying to bend that string of pearls. And if you've had pearls, they don't bend to 90-degree angles. They bend slowly and sort of rounded one at a time. So use your spine like that. And then if you feel a sticky spot, maybe stop where it feels sticky and breathe. So for me, I sometimes get sticky in these positions with this hyperextension or flexion. And so I'm going to stay where I'm starting to scoop the soup bowls in. I'm going to stay right here and breathe, trying to open up a little bit along the sacrum. And then after I stay here for a breath or so, I'll keep rolling that cat. And then coming back into cow. Maybe you try to squeeze the shoulder blades together. Notice my elbows are soft. Now, when you're ready, just start to move in a way that feels good to you. So maybe that's the side-to-side action, which can feel super good on the low back / oblique psoas area. Or you can do some barrel rolls. Now, word of warning, when I'm feeling sort of out and sore in my low back, this can be pretty intense, this barrel roll. So keep the belly in. Now we're going to make these warm-up moves a little bigger. Let's go ahead and slide our hips down towards our heels. Bring your fingertips back. Journey with me. Plant those hands behind the feet. Make sure you can see me. Lift the hips up. Chest is proud. Head maybe comes back. And then drop the hips. Slide those hands forward. And then we're going to bring the hips forward. Hips down first. Belly down. And let's come into a little cobra, just moving through the full extension of the spine, pushing up, coming back to tabletop, cat, cow. And let's do that one more time. Sliding those hands back, pressing the hips up, maybe let the head go, opening those shoulders, belly's in. Sliding the hands forward, bringing the hips forward, let the hips down, shoulders, elbows in, little bit of a back bend. Maybe if you want, you can bring those feet up. Be sure your belly's in as you bring the feet up, maybe a little more. All right, last one, push yourself up. Coming back to tabletop. Now we're going to start to warm up. So drawing those hands back and underneath your shoulders, drawing those knees back and underneath your hips. We're going to plant the left toes into the mat. Extend the right feet out. Check in here with your belly. Make sure your belly is staying in, tailbone's lengthening down. Lift that right foot. This right elbow is soft. It's not locked out. If you tend to lock things, soften that elbow. When you're sure your belly's in and your tailbone and everything's lengthening out, left hand goes out straight. Now we're going to bring that left hand back 90 degrees, straight, back. A little bit of rhomboid action while we squeeze that right butt cheek. That was 3, 4, 5. Squeeze it back. Maybe lift it up. Set it down. Just set the right knee down. Cat, cow, just for one. And let's do the other side. Extend that left leg out. Plug those right toes in. You're going to bring the right hand to your belly, make sure it's sucking in, and then set it on those hips. Make sure those hips stay nice and square as we lift that left leg. My left foot is pretending to press into the mat behind me, and then I'm going to bring my right hand forward. Try to steady out those shoulders because that one side's going to, the right side's going to either want to dip down low or come up high. So lengthen through the spine, get the belly in, straighten those shoulders, bring it back, goalpost arms. Forward, soften the left elbows, goalpost arms, forward, 3 more, goalpost, lengthen, goalpost, lengthen, 1 more, goalpost, squeeze and lift. See if you can lift the leg and the shoulders, set it down, set the knee down, run through your cat-cow 1 more time. All right, those hands should be in the right spot for your very first downward facing dog. Press down and through the hands, roll over onto your toes, coming off of your knees, and let's come into our very first downward facing dog. Maybe you walk your dog if that feels okay. Since this is early and we're still warming up, maybe you just wiggle side to side, get the shoulders into this down dog a little more. One more breath. Now draw that belly in, gaze towards your belly button. Imagine you have a little bit of a cat back in that back to keep that belly nice and strong, and hold this down dog. You feel your belly warming up. One more. Inhale, bringing that left leg a little bit more towards the center of the back of the mat. Lift that right leg up. Keep the hips square at first. Keep the belly in at the whole time. Lengthen in through that tailbone. Push into the imaginary wall behind you. Then you bend your right knee. Open up that right hip. Check in with your left shoulder. Don't let it dip. Feel this amazing stretch along the right side body. You can look at the left, or what foot is that? Right foot up and over the left shoulder, or under, yogi's choice. It's a little hard to look under when you're wearing glasses. All right, straighten that right leg. Here we are, let's come out to plank. Here we are in a one-legged plank. If this is too intense, you can bring that left knee down. Soften the elbows so that your elbows aren't locked and your biceps do some work. Energy out through that right foot. One more. Nice. Set that right foot down, downward facing dog, just for a moment. So before we move into the other side, we're going to give our wrists and our hands a little bit of a break and come into dolphin pose. Jillian, you're going to love these. These are super intense for the shoulders, but they make your shoulders nice and strong. Draw that belly in. You're going to be able to tell when your belly's all hanging out loosey-goosey. Draw it in. Feel how that makes the tailbone lengthen. Look forward at those thumbs and try to bring your nose towards your thumb for 5, 4, keep the belly in, 3, 2, last one, hold it for 5, press out between the shoulder blades, 4, 3, nose forward, 2, feel this in the triceps, 1, push it back. Now, we can either come up one arm at a time to downward facing dog, or we can press those hands into the mat. Try to come up with both of them. Whoo, nice. Draw those hands back or the feet forward, come into your downward facing dog. Now we're going to slide that right foot towards the center, the midline of the mat. Draw that left leg up, energy out through that left foot. Draw the belly in, really stretching it out here, squaring off the shoulders, bringing the belly in. Now we're going to open up the hips. Left knee bends, left heel towards right shoulder, but don't let that left shoulder raise. Try to keep the shoulders square for this one at least. Maybe you look up and over that right shoulder for your left heel. You can look under, unless you're wearing glasses and they fall off. Belly stays in. And then bring that left foot back, around, come forward to your high plank. Here we are in a one-legged high plank. Remember, you can always come down to your knees. Just maintain the integrity of the pose. Don't drop the belly. Soften the elbows. One more. Nice. Set that foot down. Downward facing dog. We're going to go back to those shoulder exercises, and we can do the exact same thing in our dolphin push-ups, or you can journey with me and intensify this just a little bit. So drop that left elbow. Drop that right elbow. Your elbows are about shoulders width distance apart. If you do not have the mobility to hang out with your hands straight forward, they can come together clasped. But since we don't have all the weight on our shoulders yet, it's a really great time to work on that mobility. Draw the belly in. We're going to slide the left foot center line just a bit. Bring the right leg up. Now, if those dolphin push-ups before were just enough with both feet, stay right there with 2 feet on the mat. If you want to intensify this, we're going to go for 5 of these with one leg. When you're ready, nose forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hold it for 3, 2, 1. Push it back. Set that right foot down. Maybe drop your knees. Child's pose. Catch your breath for 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Coming back up. Make sure your shoulders didn't slide out. Press those hands into the mat. Plug those toes into the mat. Draw the belly in. Lift those hips. And here we are. We can do 5 more dolphin push-ups with both feet on the mat. Or you can slide the right towards the left just a smidge. Lift that left leg up, and let's do 5 of these dolphin push-ups with one leg up in the air. You ready? So 5, 4, squeeze those elbows in. 3, belly in. 2, 1. We can do it. We're going to hold it. Puff out between the shoulder blades for 3, 2, 1. Set those feet down. Come back to dolphin pose. All right. Extra credit here. Press down into the left. Press down into the right. Lift both. Feel those triceps. Downward facing dog. Shake out the neck if that feels good. I swear we're going to practice some yoga here in a minute, but I'm not quite ready to get rid of the belly work. So let's come forward into our plank. Hold this for 5, 4. Remember, knees are always an option. 3, puff up between the shoulder blades. 2, 1. Let's come over to right side plank. So coming over to the outside of that right foot, left foot stacks, railroad tracks, or the right knee comes down to the mat. Yogi's choice. Here I am with my feet stacked, right elbow soften, left hand reaching up high to the sky. Try not to let your hips open towards the sky. Try to stay parallel. I guess that would be perpendicular to the mat. We really like to open up the chest. That disengages those obliques a little bit. 1 more. Nice. Let's hold this plank for 3, 2, puff up the shoulder blades. 1, nice. We're going to come over. Left side plank. So roll over on the left side. We can have those feet stacked, one on top of the other, one foot in front of the other, or the left knee down, right hand up. Yogi's choice. I'm going to stack my feet. And remember, our hips like to open up towards the sky. Don't let them do that. Try to keep those hips parallel, perpendicular to the mat beneath you, parallel to the wall in front of you, I guess. Soften the left elbow. Push out from the shoulder blade. Don't collapse here. 1 more. Nice. Set that right hand down for 3, 2, 1. Maybe you come down, do cat-cow, or maybe you do child's pose while I turn and face the other way. Having some microphone wire issues. All right. So from here, if you're in child's pose, slowly start to come up onto your elbows, onto your forearms rather, and we're going to come back to a plank, but this time we're going to give our wrist a break and have our hands flat on the mat and do this on our forearms. So remember, you can have your knees down on the mat the whole time. So here I am scooping my tailbone. So it's like, okay, if you don't like soup, pretend it's ice cream. Ice cream scoop your tailbone, pelvis forward. Grab some ice cream and hold it there. Feel your belly work. If you want to come up off your knees, you still keep that ice cream scoop inside the pelvis. Now we're going to do some little ab drills. So bend the right leg, let it hover, that knee hover, straighten. Left, straighten. 5 on each side. Right, straighten, left. That's 2. Right, left. That's 3. Right. Puff out between the shoulders. 4, last one. 5, good. Now we're going to let the right hip sink. Bring it up. Left hip sink. Bring it up. 4 more. Right, sink, left, sink. Okay, I forgot to cue. Bring your feet together. Right, sink, left, sink. 2 more. Right, sink, left, up. 1 more. Right, up, and left, up. Drop those knees. Come down to your child's pose. Stretch it out. Those shoulders should feel it. Hopefully your abs feel it. And from here, we're going to come back up to tabletop. Maybe you move through a cat-cow. And then we're going to come into our very first downward facing dog. Or I guess this isn't our very first. Our very first, we're building heap downward facing dog. How does that sound? Okay, gaze towards your belly button. Suck that belly button in. And when you are ready, we're going to ground down through that left heel. Bring that right heel up a whole bunch. Bend that right knee. And instead of turning over to your flip dog, we're going to try to hold a half flip dog. Right hand comes up. Left foot's off. Use your belly muscles that are nice and warm. Here we are. Don't flip it yet. One more. Nice. And then ground that right foot. Ground that right hand. Downward facing dog. It's an intense way of building some mobility in the shoulders and ab work at the same time. Lift that left leg up. Bend that left knee. Open the hip up a whole bunch. Keep the belly in. That's the key to your balance. Lift that left hand. This is challenging. 2, 3, one more. All right. Oh, I lost it. So let's flip it back over, downward facing dog. All right. Look between those hands. Inhale. Bring those feet forward on the exhale, bending the knees a whole bunch. And here we are in a standing forward fold. Leave me comments on who could hold that flip dog, the not quite flip dog. I love it. It's so hard. It's so much fun. And here it is, like everybody takes for granted the flip dog. We like to just toss ourselves into it. So to hold it and hover, that's like my new personal challenge. Soften those knees a lot, bring the belly in, and then slowly come up, one vertebra at a time. Welcome to yoga. All right, we still have plenty of time. Let's do this. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, half lift, bellies in. On the exhale, plant those hands, walk, step, or jump your feet back. Puff out between the shoulder blades. Inhale, push yourself forward onto your toes. Come down into your chaturanga. Hold it. Your knees can be down if they'd like. Hold it. Now come into your upward facing dog. And then downward facing dog. Beautiful. One more. Inhale, look between those hands. Exhale, walk, step, jump it quietly to the top of the mat. Pull your shoulders back, inhale. Exhale, fold. Slowly rounding up. One vertebra at a time. Reach those hands up high. Exhale, hands down to your side. Nice. Let's do that one more time. Hands up, inhale. Forward fold. Sun salutations, warm up the whole body. Halfway lift, inhale. Plant the hands, walk those feet back. Hold this high plank. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, push your toes forward. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale here. Exhale. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Holding that chaturanga. That's something else, isn't it? One more breath. Look between those hands. Walk, step. See how quietly you can jump to the top of your mat. Pull the shoulders back. Inhale. Forward fold. Slowly rolling your way up. Reach those hands up. And then bring them down to your side on the exhale. Beautiful. We're going to come into a chair pose now. So don't let the cheerleader butts happen. Tilt the tailbone. Knees together if you can. Toes together. Heels apart. Sit low. Draw the belly in. So now our scoop bowl of ice cream is holding it upright, right? So our tailbone's lengthening down. Rib cage is trying to touch the fronts of the pelvis. Hands are reaching up tall. If you can and it doesn't bother your neck, feel free to look up. Sometimes that can get wonky for me, so I kind of look forward. One more breath. Nice. Just one sun B. Coming down in a forward fold. Half lift, bellies in. Exhale, plant your hands. Walk or jump your feet back. High plank. push forward, low plank, inhale, upward dog, exhale, downward dog. Left heel plants, right foot comes forward. Try to get your hips squared off. Belly's in as you come up to your warrior one. One more. Nice. Plant those hands. Come up to the toes of the left foot. See how quietly you can pick that right foot up. Use your abs. Set it down quietly at the back of the mat. Push yourself forward. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Ground down that right heel. Bring that left foot forward. See how quietly it can land. Square your hips off. Belly's in. Coming up to your warrior one. Draw that belly in. It likes to stick out. One more. Nice. All right, set those hands down, coming up to the toes of the right foot. Pick up the left foot. Look forward. Push yourself forward. Chaturanga, that's low plank. Inhaling to upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Catch your breath here for 3, 2, 1. Nice. Inhaling, look forward. Let's bring that right foot forward. This time we're going to leave that left hand down. Stay up on the left toes. Draw the belly in, and let's open up our bodies. So here we are in a side, what is this? A twisted, grounded crescent lunge. So try to squeeze your shoulder blades together. Activate those rhomboids. Soften those left elbows so we're not locked out here. And really sink into that right knee. This is a nice twist. Now remember, belly stays in for all twists. That's going to protect the back. One more. Nice. Go ahead. Bring both hands inside that right foot. Shimmy, shimmy that right foot over towards the right a little bit. And let's come into a dragon. This is a pretty intense hip flexor stretch. Oftentimes we have tight hip flexors, and that leads to congestion in the low back. So here we are stretching out the hip flexor psoas. That whole integrating region here. All right, so coming up slightly, plant the left heel down. This time we're going to set ourselves up for a extended side angle. So grounding down that right hand right beside that right big toe. Bend that right knee a whole bunch so there's like right knee to shoulder connection. Draw the belly in, so see how my tailbone scoops down, and use your shoulder to knee connection to open up the inner thigh. As we lift the left hand up, this is like a Bikram triangle. If you bring your hand forward, it's more of an extended side angle. I'm going to go for the Bikram triangle right now because I want to open up the chest a little more. Keep that belly in. Gaze is over up towards the left hand. If that feels crazy in the neck, you can look down. One more. Okay, so now we're going to get the abs involved. So all of our weight right here is in our legs and our hand, right? Let's bring that right hand up. Whoa. Right elbow to right knee. Fingertips facing in between the first and second toe. Now my left hand is reaching forward. You're trying to open up your chest to the wall that's on your left. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Use your belly. Do the work here. Sink into that right knee. One more. Nice. Let's pull ourselves up. Very first warrior two. Hallelujah. It never felt so good, right? Gazes over those right middle fingers. Try to squeeze the rhomboids even here. Sinking into that right knee. Keep the belly in. Peaceful warrior. Left hand down, or it can wrap around behind you, trying to grab that right thigh. Gaze up to those right hands if you can, or down to the left foot. And then we're going to windmill our hands down to the mat and move through your vinyasa. So that can mean going straight to down dog, or it can mean journeying through this chaturanga up dog movement. Downward facing dog. Next inhale, we're going to look forward. Left foot comes forward. We're going to stay up on the right toes, right? I'm going to open up my hips just a little bit. I'm not quite warm enough. Draw the belly in, bending through that left knee. Bring that right hand a little bit closer to the left foot, and then reach that left hand up, giving that wall a high five, that wall to your left a high five. A beautiful opening twist here. Gazes toward those left hands if you can, or it can be down towards the right. Really sink into that left leg. Draw the belly in a whole bunch. Pretend you're trying to get the belly off of the thigh. It might not actually come up off the thigh, but we're going to pretend it is. One more breath. Nice. Okay. Go ahead, grounding both hands on the inside of the left foot. You might have to shimmy that left foot over towards the left some and come into a juicy dragon pose or lizard, however you want to call it. So sometimes a little bit of a dynamic movement, I don't know, it kind of eases the tension from just hanging out here. So yogi's choice, do what feels good to you. Just don't disengage the abs. Dynamic movement, I was pushing, I don't know if you guys saw, I was pushing forward and back on my toes. Wow, this is my tight side. Okay, so from here, we're going to make sure our left knee is bent a whole bunch. Bring that right heel down towards the mat, basically in line with the left heel. If that's not happening today, totally okay. Setting up for more of a warrior two stance. Here we are, left hand, fingertips in line with those left toes, bending that left knee a whole bunch to try to get the left knee shoulder connection. If your booty is sticking out way far, draw it back in. Use your hands, use your body to draw it back in line with the knee. And then we're going to reach those right hands up. This is a twist, guys, so be sure your belly is in. Gaze is towards those right fingertips. Maybe you think about ponytail to the wall behind you. Think about weight into the outside of that right foot so you can lift your arch. Maybe squeeze the rhomboids together. That's that space between the shoulder blades. And then you might not be thinking about how your left inner thigh is stretching and your left thigh in general is working. All right, look down into those left big toes. Let's really juice this up. Inhale, bring that left elbow to the left knee, left fingertips facing, pointing towards the left big toe, and the second toe, right hand reaches forward. Here we are, extended side angle. Bend that left knee. One more. Nice. Windmill those hands up. Warrior two. Now check in with those shoulders. Pull them down and away from your ears, but squeeze them together. Feel how that opens up across the chest. Gaze is over your left middle finger. One more. Nice. Let's windmill those hands down to the mat, coming up to the toes of the right foot. See how controlled you can pick that left foot up, set it down at the end of the mat, and move through your version of a vinyasa. Okay, now we get the juicy benefit of flipping our dog. So I'm going to scoot over a little bit towards the right so that, I'm going to have to do it towards the right side of my mat so that when I lift, you guys ready? Let's lift that right foot up. Bend that right knee, right heel to left shoulder connection. And now we're going to try, hover that right hand, left foot, even if it's just for a half a second. And then slowly with control, plant that right hand, flip your dog. Belly stays in. One more. Slowly with control, lifting it up, bringing it back. And then come to your high plank with one leg up. And now right knee to right underarm. Shoot it back. Left underarm. Shoot it back. Nose. Shoot it back. And then bring that right foot forward. And let's come up to our crescent lunge. I promised you guys some balance, so let's do it. So remember, if at any time your heart starts to get a little bit crazy, beating fast, you're getting out of breath rather, so you can bring your hands down here behind your back. That's going to help you to control your breath. We're supposed to be doing Ujjayi breathing. It's a little hard when you're talking the whole time. Sorry, that's me. Okay, so draw your hands to your heart center. Draw the belly in. We're going to try to balance here on that right leg, coming into airplane pose. Inhale, think to yourself, I can do this. Exhale, prepare. And then next inhale, kicks you off of that left leg, trying to steady yourself. Left leg's pretending to press into the wall behind you. Oh, I just saw that you can't see me, so I'm backing up. One more. Grounding that right hand down, left hand comes up, half moon. 1, 2, soften the right knee maybe. 3, 4, 5. All right, grounding both hands down, standing splits. And then ground both feet down to the mat. I was going to go straight into eagle, but instead we're going to sink down really low, bring our hands up really high, left elbow under, left foot over, coming into your eagle pose. Draw the belly in. Let's sleeping eagle. Bring those elbows to knees. Unwinding that foot. Hang out here in eagle arms, airplane legs. And then grounding the hands, standing splits. And then let's go through a vinyasa. I was thinking of you, Jillian, when you said my gas pedal was always on. So I was trying to bring the gas pedal up a little, and now we're coming off the gas pedal. All right, let's come to our downward facing dog. You can stay in that child's pose as long as you like. We're going to bring that left foot forward, coming into, oh, I almost forgot our flip dog, so I'm shimmying over towards the left side of the mat. Left leg comes up, left knee bends. Here we are, hovering that left hand off of the mat. This is the side I couldn't do it the last time. Draw the belly in, hold it, hold it, hold it. Now we're going to flip the dog. Whew, that was awesome. If that's the first time you've ever tried to hold the flip dog, like hover it, don't be discouraged. It's hard. You can do this. Here we are. Three-legged dog. Come back to plank. Hold it. One more. Go to three-legged dog. Left knee to left underarm. Shoot it back. Left knee to nose. Shoot it back. Left knee to right underarm. Shoot it back. And then left foot comes forward, preparing for your crescent lunge. Remember, your hands can be down here behind your back. It might help you catch your breath. Draw the belly in. All right, my hands are pressing into my chest. The belly to spine connection is what's going to really help you stick this balance. On the inhale, we're going to think to ourselves, we can do this. Exhale, prepare. Next inhale kicks off into our airplane or warrior 3. God, I'm too forward again. Opening up, left hand down, right hand up, half moon pose. Standing splits. And then ground that right foot down, set it beside the left, sink down into both knees and come into your chair pose. Right arm under left, sink down really low, right leg over left. Here we are in a nice eagle pose. If your foot binds, awesome. If it doesn't, that's also awesome. All right, sleeping eagle. Unwinding, airplane pose with eagle arms. Ooh, and I lost it. And then standing splits. Then go through your vinyasa. Beautiful. Okay. From here, we're going to look between our hands. We're going to walk step. Maybe we play with, if you've been practicing for a little while, let's play with a jump through, but we don't have to go all the way through. Our bellies are nice and warm, our legs are nice and strong, and our shoulders are warm. So we're going to sink back into our heels. So here we are. I don't know if anybody was ever a swimmer. You'd hang out on those blocks, and then right before you go, you kick off by pushing back first. So you're going to sink those heels into your hips into your heels. Draw the belly in a whole bunch. See how close your knees are to your chest right now? That's how close you want them to stay when you jump forward. So inhale, exhale, sink back. Next inhale, jump yourself forward with knees to your chest and see where your feet land. You might surprise yourself. I don't know. Okay, so let's hang out here in chair pose really fast. Remove the flush. Draw the belly in, and then forward fold. Just because a nice forward fold seems like it would feel pretty good right now. From here, we're going to lift up. Okay, first set of little ab drills on our back. Bring your hands down behind your back. We're going to think to ourselves, legs get up. So let's lift one at a time just to warm up. What we don't, and you, by the way, you don't have to leave your hands here. This is like step one to leave your hands. It'll kind of help. Draw that belly in. So even when you draw the belly in, you're thinking length through the tailbone. Look at that right leg and say, get up. Hold it. And then set it down. Left leg, get up. Hold it. And then come down. Now, if you want, you can try that again without hands on the mat. Remember, your hands are here just to help you as we build strength along the transverse abdominals. So if your hands are not going to be on the mat, I don't want them out here hanging loosey-goosey. We're engaged here, so draw your shoulders back. They're just outside the hips. Inhale here and lift the right leg. See if you can keep it straight. Nice. And then set it down. Lift the left leg. Nice. Set it down. Come back a little bit. Whoa. Belly's in. Inhale. Lift that right leg. Set it back. Left leg. Set it down. Look, come back a little bit more. Lift that right leg. Hold it. Set it. Left. Down. Come up. And maybe we do a forward fold. Okay, so now what we're going to try to do is build on those boat poses. So if that was challenging enough for you, stay there, leave your hands on the mat, and just do one at a time. What I'm going to try to do is 2 feet at a time, 2 legs at a time. Now, legs don't have to be straight. They can be bent. That's all dependent on how strong your transverse abdominals and your hip flexors are. But before we get there, let's do a little bit more for transverse abdominal strength. Draw the belly in, sink those feet down into the mat. Knees are 45-ish degree angle, and we're going to bring our hands out just outside of our knees. And we're going to let's do like 10, maybe 15. I'm going to call these like little bitty boat crunches. So we're not laying down, right? We're going, this is 45 to 60. To 60 again. So let's just do this. Maybe we'll do this another 12 times. This is just getting those transverse abdominals nice and strong. Don't let the back round. And I've lost count. So I think this is number 6. And then we've got, this is 9 maybe. And if I lose count, I apologize. There's 10. Okay, 5 more. We got this. Chest is up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Okay, you can plant your hands behind you if you'd like, or you can leave your hands out in front. And you can have your leg extended out straight, the left leg extended out straight, or it can be bent. Yogi's choice. I'm going to try to extend it, and then lift that right leg. Lower it. Lift that left leg. lower it. Now I'm going to try to lift both. I don't think I can do this with straight legs, so let's try. Inhale, woo, hold, and lower. Hold, upper, lower, high, low, high, low. One more, high, low boat or canoe, high. Squeeze those knees in. Yeah, y'all got me to hear me singing. Okay, so now we're going to do another little ab exercise that's going to work on the transverse abdominals. So what we're going to do is bring both knees into your chest. I'll give you the profile view first, and then I'll give you the front view. So go ahead, hug your knees into your chest, and try to bring your knees up off your feet up off the floor. Okay, so now see how close your knees are to your chest? Draw your belly in. Let's let go of those knees and use your abs and legs to hold yourself up. You ready? We're going to hold it for 5. You ready? Let go. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold those knees in. Give them a squeeze. Now, if that was challenging, you're going to stay right there. If you want to join me and make this a little bit more challenging, we're going to try to extend the legs and bring them back. So keep those knees nice and hugged up into your chest. Are you ready? Let's see if we can do this. Belly's in, inhale, releasing those knees. Hold those knees into your chest. Now extend the right leg out. Bring it in, just 5 on each side. Left, in, right, in, left, in. We got 3 more. Right, left. Bring those knees in. Right, knees in, left. Last one. Right, squeeze it in, left. Squeeze it in. Go ahead and give it a squeeze. Hallelujah. That is done. So let's do just a few more little ab exercises, and then we'll come all the way down to the mat. When you are ready, we're going to come into boat pose. Remember, boat pose, feet can be here on the mat. Hands can be here on the knees. You can leave those feet on the mat, hands out wide. They can also be behind you. Yogi's choice, you can take one foot or the other. You can take both feet, knees bent, or both feet, legs straight. Let's do this for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to bend my knees. Now let's row the boat for 5, left, 4, left, 3, 2, 1. Squeeze those knees in, and then extend yourself nice and long on the mat. Long body stretch. Holy moly, that was pretty stinking awesome. Okay, so now let's go ahead and bring both knees into the chest, wind removing pose. Extend that left leg out. And here we are in wind removing pose on the right side. The reason why this pose is awesome, not only does it relieve some wind, so if you are relieving some wind, the pose is working. This is also a really great stretch for the left side hip flexor. So as you draw that right knee closer and closer into your chest, keep extending that left leg out. And here's the thing, guys. If this is not really much of a stretch for your left hip flexor, put a block or a couch cushion underneath your sacrum. This is seriously the most delightful stretch that I can think of when my back is super sore. I will demonstrate with the block. So excuse me, I'm going to go get a block. If you don't have a block, that's totally okay. You can use a couch cushion. You don't have to use a couch cushion. You don't have to raise your hips up off the mat. It just kind of helps to intensify the hip flexor on the left. So now you guys can see how my right knee is pressing in towards my right underarm, and this just really gives the left side a nice stretch. If your left heel can't touch the mat, that's totally okay. It might be out here hovering. That depends on how open the hips are on this right side and how open your hip flexor is on the left. Enjoying the stretch. One more. All right, go ahead, bring left knee into your chest. Give them both a squeeze. You can do this even with the block underneath your hips. And then here we are. We're going to extend that right leg out, holding that left leg in. Holy moly. And enjoy this wonderful wind removing pose. If you're on a block, totally okay. If you're not on a block as well. And each side is going to feel different. So the other side, no big deal at all. This side is my tighter hip flexor side. So this is an intense stretch. Nice. One more. Actually, I think we're going to hang out here for a couple more because we were on the other side for so long. All right, one more. And then go ahead, bring both knees into the chest, give them a squeeze. And then go ahead and plant both feet down onto the mat. Here we are in a nice and supported bridge if you've got a block. If you don't have a block, we're going to push ourselves up. So make sure your fingertips can touch the heels. Lift your hips, channel your inner Jane Fonda here as you squeeze and lift those hips up higher, bringing that chest towards your shin. If you've got enough space underneath you, maybe you shimmy your shoulders closer together to where you can bring your hands on the mat and clasp them underneath your body. Once you've got that clasp, push them into the mat. See if you can intensify this stretch across the front side body. One more. Nice. Coming on out of this. We didn't do many back bends today. Inhale, bring those knees into your chest. And then let's go ahead and drop them over towards the right, gaze over towards the left. Arms can be out wide to a T. Inhale, bring those knees into your chest, give them a squeeze. I love this pose. And then drop those knees over towards the left. Gaze is over your right hand, if that's okay. Alrighty, let's bring those knees into the chest. Give them a squeeze. Let's try to do one more little back bend. If your back is bothering you, I suggest a supported bridge. If you're feeling pretty froggy, we'll go for a full bridge. So make sure the fingers can touch those hips. Lengthen through the tailbone. Try to get the whole back onto the mat. That's going to engage the belly enough to make you keep the back straight as you lift those hips. Shimmy, shimmy those shoulders up and underneath you. And press the clasped hands onto the mat as you help to lift those hips up even higher. One more. Beautiful. Coming out of this. Maybe you give those knees a squeeze one more time. And I welcome you to either a happy baby, a shoulder stand, something that's going to help you seal off your practice for the day. And then let's come into a wonderful resting, integrating Shavasana pose, corpse pose, where we just lay still and take in all the benefits of this practice. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you had fun. I hope that this was just the right a mix of a nice workout and a nice stretch and a good intense focus on the abs. I appreciate any and all feedback. Let me know what you like, what you don't like, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. This is Thrive Yoga and Wellness. We're located in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And we welcome you to start to follow us on YouTube. I'm hoping to get something on our YouTube page at least once a week, maybe even more, and even bringing on some of the other teachers here locally. And if you absolutely love what we're doing. We also have an online membership where you can come in and have some exclusive sequences, exclusive time with me. We have a private Facebook group that I'm active in, and you have direct access to me for any questions or comments or anything like that. We have some special stuff in that community as well. So thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to practice with you again soon. Take care. Namaste.